Watch the ride.
Well, hello everybody. I am on the bike because I have had things I've had to do today, so thought I'd whack the camera on, why not? Opportunity to make a video. Things have been incredibly busy, as you can imagine. Sorting through stuff, trying to get rid of rubbish, which is not the easiest thing to do these days. Like, when I was a kid, local tips were just a place that you filled the car up with stuff, you drove down to the tip, you drove in the tip, where you waited your turn obviously, in the queue, and you then dumped your stuff, and that was that. Now, to register your vehicle, book your slot, it's what it's like around here, I assume it's the same everywhere else, book a slot in, be very restricted about what you can and cannot throw away. Apparently with the local ones, if you book a slot and you miss the slot, they ban you for a month. So the way we've been getting rid of stuff is, thankfully, me and Reno don't produce a huge amount of rubbish. So we have 2 wheelie bins for normal rubbish. We're filling up 1.5 with stuff that has to go. And then the other half of the wheelie bin is enough for our rubbish for basically 2 weeks. Because we have every other week for normal rubbish collections. This is for clearing out the house room, which you'll know about from all the stuff that's recently gone on with me. Again, a massive thanks for the support of the people that have supported us. It's meant that I can now really every day focus on trying to get our stuff sorted, and then me and my family can help sort my mum's stuff, and then get the house cleared out. In a recent video I talked about how I'm finding myself wanting to be more of a minimalist and not wanting to hold on to loads of stuff. And it's been interesting to go through old cupboards of stuff that I previously held on to and you know, kept for a couple of years because I'm like, I know I still want this, and how now I just don't care. I don't want it, I just don't. I had a load of old camera equipment which had been given to me over the years. You know, if you do photography, people give you camera equipment, and it's mostly film stuff, old lenses, things like that. And previously I kept hold of it because, maybe one day I'll use that, and now it's like, no, I know I'm not. So what I did was I got in contact with a local camera, it's called the Vintage and Classic Camera Shop. Basically they buy and sell vintage and classic cameras. And I went down to them and basically said, look, I know, you're not going to be able to give me any money for any of this stuff because I've looked on eBay and it barely goes for anything anyway. But would you be able to somehow get this to someone who might be able to use it? You've got a better chance than me. And maybe I could have done that myself if I had a bit more time, but I have so much stuff to sort out that it was better to just give it all to them. And amazingly, thanking to them, they did do that. It's probably going to mostly end up in a charity shop somewhere, but that's fine. As long as it isn't thrown in the bin, because with a lot of things, that's what I'm having to do. A couple of old consoles we've got, tried to get rid of those through CEX. CEX now is a nightmare to sell stuff to because it's like, oh, do you have the original cables? Do you have this? You're like, well, hang on, it's a console, right? It's just a 360 Slim. Do you really need all of the cables? Because presumably you must be drowning in cables and stuff for these things. But I mean, I guess because you need cables to sell each console, they won't take stuff like that. I had a Guitar Hero controller with, it's a common fault on one of them where this little battery flap, which works without this button, the button stopped working because like a spring popped off, and I can't replace it because there's like a little plastic tab that needs to go with it, and they will not take the whole thing on that basis. I mean, yeah, sure, I could go to like something like Cash Converters or try and sell it privately, blah blah. It's just I don't have the time. Those cattle egrets, I've heard about this. Basically in this country, little egrets weren't common. They were very uncommon a few years ago. In the sense of, well, they were native, and then lots of Victorian women liked them in their hats, and then they ended up killing them all for that, and they nearly went extinct. And then they brought them back, and then a few years ago there was one cattle egret turned up around here, and I went to go and see it because it was quite important, and then I heard they're breeding around here. Don't all leg it. Nah, you little shites. Those didn't look like little egrets, they looked like cattle egrets. That is very bizarre. Sorry, it's a complete side tangent. This is what my brain's like at the moment. 10 billion things going on at once. Okay, little update. I'm not crazy. They were cattle egrets. I went back there. Here is a picture, as you can see. Cattle egret, cattle egret. It's really weird the way that these different species of birds and insects and things have turned up in the past 10, 15 years and have gone from being a rare thing that you occasionally saw to something that's now breeding here and just thriving. It's got to be to do with the climate, I'm guessing, but it's just interesting. Cool to see him, though. I've had a couple of comments recently, people saying it was good to see you back on a bike. I'm on a bike because it's my transport. This is what I do. I don't have a car. I'm a bike-only person, and there is so much stuff to do that I'm having to be backwards and forwards and talking to this person and talking to that. They should all calm down soon. Like, the main things that need to get done are nearly done. And I'll be honest with you, at the moment, I'm struggling to find things that my brain is interested in or that I enjoy. But I do find, obviously, I love riding bikes. That's not going to change. My brain always rewards me for riding a bike, no matter what the circumstances. And making videos and connecting with you and seeing comments from you also, makes me happy. So, yeah, I will continue to do it where I can. The only issue is, because the way that YouTube now works, unless your video is particularly grabbing to people, it just won't grow. The viewership won't get out there because that's not what they're interested in. The way that LTT talked about this, the way that YouTube see it now is they don't look at it like, oh look, a creator, you've put a new video up, let's show that to people. They look at it more from this perspective, oh look, there's a new viewer on the site, what can we show them that will keep them on the site? And when you're competing with every other person out there, even if someone likes your channel, there may always be someone who's more interesting, more sensational, more grabbing, that will get that view and get that time, and then that's just the way it is now. Many years ago, probably around 2016, 2017, we talked about how motovlogging kind of died, and people say that YouTube killed motovlogging. It didn't really. It was the audience's lack of interest in it, which is what caused it to die off. Piggies! Maybe it's because I started watching YouTube very early on, but I still find that the most engaging, fun videos for me to watch is just normal everyday people still. Some of the channels that I've been watching for a very long time are things like Aquachigger, who's a metal detectorist. Aquachigger's amazing, but you can't say that every single video he makes is massively sensational, but I just like, almost spending time with the dude. It's just seeing what he's up to, what he's been doing. It's something I very much enjoy. I love his videos. And he's a good example of channels that I don't learn too much from his videos, but I just enjoy them. The rest of the videos I watch tend to be more sort of, like reference material learning about things. But even then, that can be frustrating because a lot of videos are made for people who haven't spent many, many, many years learning about every single little thing they can learn about. So it ends up being very sort of base level every time, and you have half the video covering basic stuff. About an eighth of the video is an ad, and then the rest of it is like, oh, that bit's interesting. I'm definitely using the bike to offset some of the more stressful, upsetting things we have to do. Like in the next day or so, we've got a meeting with the celebrationist for my mum for her funeral, and that's obviously coming up relatively soon. So if I can give my brain a few endorphins of joy of being on a bike to offset what is without doubt going to be an upsetting, sobering and not fun thing, it helps a lot. I'm now really wondering whether those were cattle egrets or not. The beak shape and the neck length and stuff just didn't look little egret-like to me. At some point I'm actually going to have to sneak up and have a look at them with a pair of binoculars and see if they actually are cattle egret or not. As I say, it is weird the way that the animals, the wildlife around here is changing. There's things that are here now that weren't here a few years ago in great numbers. It's probably to do with the weather warming up and things changing. But it's definitely becoming autumn. Look at the leaves! Look at all the brown leaves! It is really nice that September has been, well, warmer, And hopefully, it's not a freezing cold winter, as this winter I'll be commuting a lot more. I will say thank you to the people out there with your support. I have now bought a rain suit. It was only like 40 quid, but it's meant that now I'll be dry when I go to my new job. I've also got some new gloves, so they're not going to fall off my hands. These aren't winter gloves, but I've got some liners for them should it get too cold. And then if it gets really cold, I've got some thick winter gloves that I use in winter. But you may notice I'm not spending half the video now doing up the wrists. And talking about bike gear, the disparity in sizes between brands is unbelievable. I tried on a 5XL rain suit from Oxford, and it literally was like a giant bag on me. It was massively too big, like twice the size it needed to be. Not height, but like, you know, leg, gut, arm, all that sort of thing. It was ridiculous. And yet the one I've got that fits me about right is a 5XL from Frank Thomas. It's like it fits over my gear nicely without too much extra bag. The disparity between brands is so annoying, and it must make things so difficult. It's why actual motorcycle outfitters are really important. I spent a good hour and a half trying on different things in the local J&S, trying to find what wouldn't fit and what was the best option. Thankfully, one of the cheapest options was the best option. Fantastic. Right. Well, I don't know what this one was going to be. It was just I put the camera on while I was on my way between shops. If you enjoy standard old school motor vlogs, smack that like button. It will help other people see it. Help support me through Patreon, YouTube members. I'd really appreciate that. And until the next one, bye bye.